Hello, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. Welcome to Nita AI Talks. Today, we want to talk about AI versus human intelligence. Where do we draw the line? What makes human intelligence so unique in a world where AI is advancing very quickly? First, let's discuss the understanding of the word intelligence when it comes to humans versus AI. When it comes to humans, I think it's not just about logical thinking. Human intelligence involves so many different factors, which brings in different perspectives. That is when it comes to processing information or making decisions, right? So let's say we have to make a decision as a human. We tend to rely on either our past experiences or perhaps our intuition, our gut feeling. Sometimes we don't have a logical reason behind doing something. It's just because, and sometimes we can explain it and sometimes we can't. So when it comes to AI relies on data, and from this data, it derives patterns. So we can say it's similar to humans, like how we rely on our past experiences, our past data. But that's not it. We have way more complexity, right? Because as I mentioned, human intelligence involves emotional intelligence, creativity, adaptability, and in a way, all these together forms a very complex system, a system where we use to process the new information we get, and also make decisions based on it. For example, as well, humans have a belief system, we have morals, we have values. All these do affect how we process information and how we deal with the world around us. As for AI, it just relies on patterns, and the more data it has, the more various the patterns will get, and the more advanced it will get as well. They don't actually understand things not as they appear to be. Like, for example, when it comes to NLP, we think that it does understand us. It doesn't understand us. It processes the information or the data, and then it replicates patterns. It predicts as well. So in NLP, natural language processing, it predicts what the next word would be based on previous data that it went through before, right? So that's how it works. Okay, again, another example in language understanding. The AI can translate languages in very, very impressive accuracy, but it does lack that element of understanding. And what I mean by that is we humans have more of a cultural context or an emotional context as well. So let's say the word oh. So if I said the word oh in a different tone, it might have a different meaning. Will the AI be able to understand and pick up on these cues? Yes, that is the question. And this is where the line is drawn for now when it comes to, AI understanding language. However, it's not actually far off from picking up on these cues now, is it? Especially with the new ChatGPT model that also uses speech recognition now, yeah? Let's talk more about strengths and weaknesses of each. When it comes to the AI strengths, we have its processing power. That is an advantage that AI will always have over humans. It can analyze a lot of data in matter of seconds, which is something humans can never do, at least now. Will humans at some point be able to do that? No. For now, I don't think so. Okay. But other than it being able to process all this amount of data, it can always be precise and consistent. Why? Because it doesn't get bored, it doesn't get tired, and so it doesn't make mistakes. And when I'm saying it doesn't make mistakes, I'm talking about repetitive tasks, things that are clear, that has a few steps and it's done. Something that is very, very easy for the AI to do. And so it cannot make mistakes based on something like that. Because if a human is working on a task that is repetitive, when they get tired or when they get bored, they can get distracted, they can get drowsy, where they cannot focus too much to perform the task, something like that. However, the AI will be more consistent and precise. Another example is in fields like healthcare, the AI will be able to detect patterns when it comes to medical scans way faster and sometimes even more accurate than humans could. And so I think AI in healthcare is such an interesting topic that I want to have a separate podcast where I talk about AI in healthcare and perhaps do more research and see where AI is at right now when it comes to healthcare and thoughts on what it would mean to have AI in healthcare. Okay, so when it comes to human strengths, humans have the intuition and emotional intelligence. That is something AI is not going to be able to replicate, at least not soon. Yeah. And so now humans have the advantage, but we'll see soon. So, so because of that, humans can make decisions even with limited information. And this is something the AI actually struggles with. And another point is creativity and originality. Humans can be able to do a lot of things when it comes to creativity, problem solving, and thinking outside of the box. AI needs a lot of context when they want to think of something, and they are very limited when it comes to creativity, at least right now. And so humans do exceed AI in these areas. AI is able to replicate other works, it's able to generate. Yes, it is able to generate, but it's still based on past works. It's based on data that it has seen before. So it has to be inspired by something. So for it to create something very, very original, it's still not there yet. Human doctors use empathy and intuition when it comes to patient care. And that is something that the AI will not be able to do right now. And so humans in healthcare are very much needed. Yeah, it's not going to be easy to replace them by AI. And I'm not saying that other jobs will be very easily replaced. The point is, humans are needed. Yeah, humans are needed. Okay. And creating a connection and understanding with the patient is something the AI cannot replicate. Okay, so now we talked about humans and we talked about AI. So let's talk about them. Let's talk about where they could possibly meet, and that is about discussing limitations and the possibilities. Yeah. So when it comes to the limitations, the current gap there is right now is that AI is very far from truly understanding emotions and abstract concepts, and it needs a lot of context to understand so many things in a way that humans don't need. Yeah. And when it comes to emerging fields, there is a lot of research that will be needed to bridge this gap. So, one way to be able to bridge that gap is through doing, of course, a lot of research. And one of the things that is really interesting to look at is the emotion recognition. In fact, it is one of the things that I did look at when I did my final year project. I integrated an emotional recognition model that can read the emotion of the person life. And so things like that might help us bridge that gap for AI to be able to at least detect and then later on be able to actually understand what it means to feel that emotion. It understands it as a concept, but it doesn't actually understand it, yeah? Right? And why do we need AI to understand emotions? Why do we need it to reach a point where it can match humans' intelligence? That is a question that needs to be answered, yeah? Yeah. But for now, I would say the answer is the closer we bring this gap, the better that we can work together. Let's say you are in a group with people and you need to work on a project. In order for you to successfully complete that project, you need to understand each other, yeah? And so right now, we are using AI in so many different aspects, in so many different fields. How will we be able to optimize it to the maximum level if we don't understand it and it doesn't understand us? Yeah? Okay. But of course, all these questions and discussions bring ethical implications, like questions like when should humans remain in control and where do we set the boundaries for AI, especially as it becomes more advanced. And I would leave it here for this podcast. Hopefully, in future podcasts, we go into these questions more deeply. And hopefully, in the near future, I have people discussing these things with me as well. And I hope that this sparked some interesting questions in your heads as well. Please feel free to comment down below what you think, and make sure to support the channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing it with people who are also interested to learn more about AI, as that is the aim of the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you on the next one.